Houston, we have a major situation developing right now. The foundation of our Texans is shaking, and you need to pay attention immediately. We are talking about moves that do not just change the roster, but they change the very identity of this franchise. Sources are confirming a shocking departure from the coaching staff that directly impacts our franchise quarterback, C.J. Stroud. But that is not all. While one door closes, a massive window of opportunity might be opening in the backfield with a potential trade that could electrify the entire league. This is a defining moment for the Texans offseason.
Let us get straight to the breaking news that has rocked the Houston Texans organization over the last 24 hours. Yesterday, on February 26th, the Houston Chronicle officially reported that the Texans and quarterbacks coach Jerrod Johnson have decided to part ways. This is not just a standard offseason adjustment. This is a seismic shift in the developing narrative of C.J. Stroud. Jerrod Johnson has been in this building since 2023. He was not just a coach on the payroll. He was the architect behind the scenes, the man whispering in the ear of the Offensive Rookie of the Year, and a critical piece of the puzzle that turned this franchise from a laughingstock into a legitimate contender. When you look at the mechanics, the poise, and the decision-making of C.J. Stroud, you are looking at the direct influence of Jerrod Johnson. And now he is gone. The team is calling it a decision to move in opposite directions. But let me tell you what this really means. In the NFL, continuity is king, especially for a young quarterback entering his pivotal second or third year. You do not mess with the recipe when the meal is tasting this good. I am looking at this decision and I am baffled. I am stunned. Why would you disrupt the chemistry of the most important room in the building? We're talking about C.J. Stroud, the future of the franchise, the savior of Houston football. You take away his sounding board? You take away the guy who helped him break rookie records? This is a high-risk maneuver by the Texans front office. From an insider perspective, we know that coaching staffs evolve. We know that offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick is still calling the plays, and that provides a layer of stability. However, the day-to-day interaction, the film study, the mechanical tweaks, that falls on the quarterback's coach. Losing Johnson creates a void that must be filled immediately and perfectly. There is no margin for error here. If Stroud regresses even 1 inch, if he takes a step back in his development, everyone is going to point back to this moment, to this decision to let Jerrod Johnson walk out the door. It screams of arrogance. It screams that the organization believes the system is more important than the people running it. And let me tell you, that is a dangerous game to play in the National Football League. You look at the history of young quarterbacks who lose their primary position coach early in their careers, and the results are mixed at best. This puts an immense amount of pressure on DeMeco Ryans and Nick Caserio to find a replacement who doesn't just teach football, but who can connect with Stroud on a personal level the way Johnson did. The trust factor is gone. They have to rebuild that trust from scratch with a new face. It is unnecessary turbulence in an offseason where the Texans should be focused on smooth sailing toward a Super Bowl run. We need to know who pulled the trigger on this. Was it Johnson seeking a better opportunity, or was this the Texans thinking they could upgrade? If it is the latter, they better be right, because you do not gamble with your franchise quarterback. You protect him. You surround him with familiarity. You do not strip away his support system. This move changes the dynamic of the offensive meeting room entirely. But here's the thing about the NFL. When you create a hole in one area, you often try to make a splash in another to distract the fan base and improve the roster. The offense is changing, the coaching staff is shifting, and now we are hearing reports that the personnel on the field might be getting a massive injection of speed that we've never seen before. You thought the departure of a coach was big news. Wait until you hear who might be lining up in the backfield next to C.J. Stroud.
Before we dive into the explosive trade rumor that could redefine our ground game, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want the truth about the Texans before anyone else, join our community right now.
If the coaching news made you nervous, this next report should make you absolutely electric with anticipation. Recent reports surfacing yesterday, February 26th, indicate that the Houston Texans are eyeing a massive trade for Miami Dolphins running back De'Von Achane. Let me repeat that. De'Von Achane could be coming to Houston. This is not just a rumor. This is a signal of intent. The Texans are looking at their backfield and they see uncertainty. Joe Mixon has been a warrior. He has been a steady hand. But we are dealing with contract issues, we are dealing with age, and we are dealing with the wear and tear of a brutal NFL schedule. The front office knows they need an injection of pure, unadulterated speed, and there is nobody, And I mean nobody who brings speed like Devon Achane. We are talking about a player who averaged nearly 8 yards per carry in his rookie flashes. We are talking about a guy who can take a simple toss sweep and turn it into a 70-yard touchdown before the linebackers even realize he has the ball. This is a Texas A&M product, a guy who knows Texas football, potentially coming home to ignite this offense. Imagine the nightmare this creates for defensive coordinators. You already have to worry about C.J. Stroud throwing deep to Nico Collins and Tank Dell. Now you have to worry about Achane outrunning your entire secondary out of the backfield? It is unfair. It is a cheat code. From a strategic standpoint, this makes all the sense in the world. Bobby Slowick comes from that Shanahan coaching tree. That system thrives on zone runs, one-cut runners, and explosive speed. Achane is the prototype for this scheme. He fits like a glove. But let's look at the reality of the situation. Trading for Achane means giving up draft capital. It means Nick Caserio is pushing his chips into the middle of the table and saying, "We are winning the Super Bowl right now." It is an aggressive move. It is a bold move. And quite frankly, it is the kind of move the Texans have to make if they want to dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs. You cannot beat Patrick Mahomes by playing it safe. You beat him by scoring points in bunches. Achane gives you that ability. However, we have to address the durability concerns. Achane is not a big back. He is not going to carry the ball 300 times a season between the tackles like Derrick Henry. He is a weapon, a specialized tool that needs to be used correctly. If the Texans pull this off, they are acknowledging that the era of the workhorse back is evolving into the era of the explosive playmaker. This casts a massive shadow over Joe Mixon's future. If Achane comes in, is Mixon gone? Or are they trying to build the most dangerous two-headed monster in the league? Thunder and lightning? The implications here are staggering. Stephen A. Smith would tell you that speed kills, and he is right. In the modern NFL, you are either fast or you are last. The Texans are trying to be the fastest team on the turf. This potential trade changes the geometry of the field. It forces safeties to play deeper, opening up the intermediate routes for Stroud. It is a symbiotic relationship that could elevate this offense to historic levels. But the cost will be high. The Dolphins know what they have. They are not going to give away a young, explosive talent for peanuts. Caserio has to decide if the price is worth the reward. This is the type of move that defines a general manager's legacy. If it works, you are a genius. If Achane gets hurt or doesn't fit, you wasted valuable assets. But the buzz is real, and the intention is clear. The Texans are not satisfied with just being good. They want to be unstoppable. With the coaching staff changing and the roster potentially exploding with new talent, one question remains for every fan watching.
We are witnessing a decisive moment in Texans history. We have lost a key coach in Gerard Johnson, shaking the foundation of our quarterback room. But we might be gaining a superstar weapon in Devon Achane. It is a roller coaster of emotions, but that is what championship off-seasons look like. Now I need to hear from you. Is trading for Achane worth the risk? And are you worried about Stroud's development without his coach? Drop your comments below. Let's debate this. We are building something special here, and your voice matters. Stay locked in with us.